Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back to the May Contain What
an entrance!
We're either gonna fix it or leave it in there. I don't know which. Welcome everyone back. We're gonna fix it. Hello, everyone. welcome to episode 9, season 3 of the May Contain Action podcast. I am one of your hosts, Paul, aka Action Jackson, and joining me as always, my trusty Robin, if you will. The hooch to my whoever is with Hooch. I don't know what his teammate is. Hutch. It's Hutch.
Starsky and Hutch, dude.
There it is, dude. The Starsky to my Hutch.
Hooch.
Yeah, Hooch.
Your Hooch.
He's my Hooch.
I'm Starsky and he's Hooch. What a start. We're not watching that movie, I guess.
Oh, I'm crushing it. Yeah, I've never seen it. Trevor May, everybody.
I'm here.
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Welcome back.
Happy
Trevor's
New
here.
Year.
Happy New Year. That's right. New year, same pod. You know what I mean?
Yep. Maybe even more like it's been. Holy.
That's why they listen. That's why they listen. Trevor, it's we're recording this. It's January 3rd. Yeah. So we're 3 days in. How's the new year going for you so far?
I'll be honest. It is. It's increíble. That is, for those of you at home, that is incredible in Spanish.
Increíble. Yes, of course.
No, it's been great. It's been really good. I do feel a little bit of sickness coming on again.
No, come on.
Like a weird little achy, like, sniffle thing. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Okay,
so,
all right.
There's a chance that I'm going to do my, 12th COVID test of the off season. Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah, still in the old brain, guys. Of the winter.
Of the winter, yes.
It's one of those situations where, when you proposed and you called her your girlfriend for the first 3 months.
Yes.
That's what's happening to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hated fiance. Not that I hated being one. I was just like, that's a weird. I'm not French, I don't know. It just felt weird as my fiance.
Exactly. You went from 2 syllables to 3. It's just like a whole thing. Like, why?
Yeah, stupid. Come on. What are we doing?
Why?
My betrothed was way better.
Was it?
Not really.
Was it?
I'm sorry you're sick. I'm sorry you're sick. That sucks.
But
that's a lot.
Fortunately, I can just sit at my desk as a defense. So I'm gonna do that.
That's
again.
true.
And that just depends whether or not I'm gonna edit a video today or if I'm gonna play a video game today. That's literally the change I have to make, which is just so fun.
The freaking what a dream to be able to choose between those two things. Oh man.
We did I did my kind of year, did a little bit of a year goal setting thing.
Yeah.
Talked to Emily, and we started to kind of come up with a plan for the year. And I guess, I don't think I've said this explicitly like this, guys, but it's kind of a little bit of an announcement for me.
Dude,
I'm just gonna be like a full-time content creator. I'm not gonna do anything that's not making content this year.
Okay.
So what is all those other projects that I mentioned? Remember, I was like, I'm gonna do this pitching lessons thing and stuff. I'm gonna focus on building YouTube channels and streaming.
Wow, those poor kids at the high school are gonna be real sad to hear that.
I'll pop in. I'll be like, "What's up, guys?" Oh, that looks terrible, and I'll leave.
This is volleyball practice, Trevor. Yeah, well, you're bad at it. So,
you're bad at it. Get out of here. By the way, I live here now. But yeah, I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna blah 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 blah. Like do all these different hobbies. I'm gonna start this other channel. Blah. I'm like, let's just do the thing we have and see what happens. Like give it a good old college try. So that was a little bit. It slotted into my head a little bit the other night. It was really really nice. It's like,
nice, dude.
I'm just gonna do it.
Just do it.
And Paul, you're doing the same thing right now, and I see things are kind of popping off, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
Paul's back.
Thank you. I appreciate. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate. I don't know that I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm back. No. I don't know why that line is so good. I think it's just because Keanu said it. But anyway, probably. Yeah, I appreciate that. I feel like kind of similar to you in that, I'm just going full on content creator right now. I am currently managementless. So if you run a management company, organization, agency, let me know. You know what I mean? Love to talk.
Same. Frankly.
Hey, there you go. Same. So, yeah, I've been forced into doing it, which has been good. And it's kind of reinvigorated the creativity in me. I'm using a lot of AI tools to help like make the process easier and faster and better and whatever. Like for instance, I'll give you a quick example.
Ooh.
I may be too obsessed with this, but I think it's really fun. So I don't know, maybe it's not that, but it doesn't really help me make money. Anyway, kind of does. I love YouTube thumbnails. I don't know why. It's a weird thing to be into, but I'm kind of into it.
Bro.
And I'm using
Awesome.
AI image generation and stuff like in like trying to understand how to prompt better to get the thing I'm looking for. And it's getting better. Like if you look at my Midjourney history, like it's getting way better as I get better at prompting. So yeah, I've been doing that and that's been fun. I do it kind of often. And I just like to see what AI can do. Like what can I create? What can I prompt? Because the potential seems to be there, right? I just have to figure out how to unlock it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's a whole new skill. Like it's like a skill that just started. Like there's people whose job it is to build prompting now. Like that's real. That's awesome. You can like go on Fiverr and hire somebody to like do all your prompts for you.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like a prompt marketplace. It was like, want to figure out how to prompt in this aspect ratio for this thing? It's like, pay us $3. I was like, just tell me what it is. It's just text. But anyway,
that's
but yeah,
awesome. You sound pumped about it.
I am kind of pumped about it. It's fun. I appreciate it. I'm back into content creation. It is more fun. My community's really showed up. They've helped me out a lot with since Crown is no longer. And yeah, it's been great. I'm hoping I can sustain it and maintain it and keep the hype up and keep it going. And real quick note. Well, two things real quick. One, I have a strong addiction to Magic the Gathering. I'm not going to let it get out of hand. Okay. I'm being real economic about it, but it is a fun ass game. It's very fun. I can't wait for you to get into it and have like gold frickin' decks and like silver inlaid. Yeah, you're insane. And then secondly, it's so weird to say, but I think Tarkov is back. I think it's back.
Really?
I think it's back at least a little bit for now. It's kind of back. It feels good, man. It feels good. The gunplay,
it looks good.
They fixed the recoil.
Looks good.
It is satisfying to pull off a shot now. The flanking, the communication. It's fun.
Is the new map good?
It's a content machine. Dude, the new map is gotta be, I mean, this is a weird statement to make, I guess, but like one of the best map additions to any game I've experienced in quite some time. It hits all the right notes. It's unique. It doesn't feel overly cluttered. It's fairly easy to learn. There's CQC, there's long range, there's height, there's, elevation. It's freaking fun. It's a fun map. It's called Ground Zero, and it's a lot of fun. So,
man,
yeah, that's what's going on with me, man.
Good time to be Paul, huh? That's pretty awesome, bro. Like, dude, you're okay. So I just want everyone to know this. Fired up about a game. He's fired up about making his own thumbnails.
Yeah.
Which, like, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Random thing. Yeah.
Do the thumbnails though. I hear you on the thumbnails. I haven't really been.
Yeah.
The reason I think AI is so good for it is because so many you're smashing your face on it. Like making a thumbnail is like a goofy it. I don't know. I feel like AI rendering is like for thumbnails. Like it could be messed up and still be a good thumbnail. Like it can be. The way that it gets kind of messed up and weird, like makes it good for thumbnails, like creative that way, as opposed to like anything else. So I think if there's one thing in the world that AI is really good for and kind of having to mess it up, it's making a thumbnail. I also have been really into the thumbnails, but just for like I already made the thumbnail for this show last night.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to stop editing for a bit and just do some thumbnails. So I did one for this, and I did one for my other YouTube channel, YouTube video that I'm working on that's going out on Friday. So
hell yeah.
Like learning about all how to get the color right and how to make it pop. Also, this thumbnail is great. It's like it's the photo of us with the guys from the movie we're about to talk about, and we're like in the background. So like we're in the group, like it's 5 of us.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That was sick.
Which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
But I hope I know we have a little bit of a I don't want to say older. Older's not the right word. A little bit of a mature audience for this show. And that's a
Yeah,
good thing because this week we are going to be using the button. Because holy hell.
Oh, yeah.
This
Oh,
movie, I
sure.
watched it. I was like, "Oh God, I'm laughing still, and I'm quoting everything. But man, I can't say any of this.
Dude.
I can't
Yeah.
say any of this in its entirety. So we're gonna get clever here. Probably make up some words for some other
Oh,
words.
yeah. You want to hop
Or
into it?
just
Wanna
say
just...
it. No, we're not gonna say it. Not some of these just cannot be said no matter what. But
Yeah,
some of the other ones
exactly.
are okay.
Shall we delve? Shall we dive in?
Let's just pop.
Let's just fucking pop in. All right.
Yeah.
Our main topic today. Who picked this one? I didn't actually see.
Me.
Was it you?
It was me.
It was you.
Before
All right, you should.
Before we
What?
start though, I had a thought. I had a question I wanted to ask.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
by
what's
the way,
up?
PM is work. Getting some work done this morning and had a mic malfunction, so he might be popping in a couple times.
Fun
So if you don't hear him, we're not ignoring him. He's just
Yeah.
he is here.
No, you
He's
guys
here.
are ignoring me. You guys are
There he
ignoring me.
is.
I get it.
There he is. We're gonna cut him out of the audio.
But you can pop in for this one if you really want to. Okay, I had a thought last night. What is a movie? What is a movie that is very popular, like in pop culture, or that you have not seen and you're ashamed to say you haven't seen? Is there, or you don't have to be ashamed, but like, what's a movie you're like, I haven't seen this, and I've been acting like I have for a while, and I know I haven't, and this got out of hand because I had a realization last night that there's a movie for me.
Oh yeah,
probably be disgusting to a lot of people listening to this.
I have two.
Okay.
Yeah, one we already watched.
Okay.
So The Goonies.
The Goonies. Yeah.
I felt pretty bad about not seeing that. Exactly. That and oh gosh, what was the last one? I just said it. A while ago. What is it? Oh wow, freaking 3. The Boondocks or Boondock Saints? I don't even know the name. Boondock Saints and
That's also
Goodfellas.
like a cult classic though. Goodfellas is tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, but at the same time, like it's still before our time.
It is, but it's like these like movies that like I don't know that people are like, why you haven't seen? Yeah, so I don't know.
I mean,
but we're almost there.
Very much a cult classic, but it's a good time, especially if you like John Wick and stuff. Like it's a good time.
People quote it and like they love certain scenes all the time. Yeah, so I get it.
Willem Dafoe's in it and he's amazing. Like it's his character's hilarious and he's like the detective and it's really good.
Detective? What in the world?
It's like it's got some dark comedy elements. It's pretty good, man. It's actually really, really good.
All right.
Yeah, it went under the radar. Mine's worse.
Oh,
I have never seen, and I have been acting, and I realize I've been acting like haha, yeah, exactly. Like I've been doing that a lot for my whole life, but I've never seen in its entirety Ratatouille. I've never seen Ratatouille.
That is not what I thought you were gonna say.
I'm like, I have been fronting so long that I forgot that I actually haven't seen it. I'm like, dude, Trevor, you don't know what this scene is. Stop reacting.
Who has been calling you out on like, oh yeah, you know that movie we've all seen, Ratatouille?
Dude, everyone our age has seen Ratatouille. It was like a huge animated movie for us. Wait, you haven't seen it either?
I've seen it. I don't remember it being like remarkable.
Dude, trust me. Dude.
I thought you were gonna say like Star Wars or like
no, I've seen
Lord of the Rings or something.
Lord of the Rings, kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. I was like, man, it's been a ruse for years. Like
but Ratatouille is it's like, and maybe it's the ladies of our age are all know it, but like, bro, it's referenced so much in movies, so much. Like
it's the weirdest. You're like Cars 2. Like who?
No, Ratatouille is like a Toy Story style classic, bro. For a lot of people.
Whoa, relax.
It's a huge Disney movie that I never.
If you had said you haven't seen Toy Story, I'd have lost my mind.
Okay,
but Ratatouille.
I'm really like I'm both. I'm happy that you're like not like that's not that big of a deal, but at the same time I'm also kind of mad. So stop, okay? You know what I mean? Be offended, please.
Okay.
But yeah, I've never seen Ratatouille.
Okay.
I've never seen Ratatouille. But like, there's been like huge references. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once has like an entire like storyline about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what this is.
I'll have to look it up and see what the references are because I don't think that there are any that I can think of.
There's a lot.
I'll have to trust you. I've seen it. I remember it being fine. Yeah, it was fine.
Okay, well, that's a whole nother can of worms. Paul's always out here just saying controversial stuff, so we're
constantly.
I'm over here trying to be controversial. He's like, you're not even that controversial.
It's really not that bad. Yeah, I'll give you controversial.
Anyway, what movie are we watching?
What movie did we watch? Well, Trevor selected the cult classic. Let me read some stats for you really quick. I actually don't know if it's cult classic. The budget for the production was around 17.5 to 20 million. And it grossed domestically 121. So huge success. This movie came out in theaters in 2007, August of 2007. And was quite formative for me because that's the year I started my senior year of high school. So it was a very appropriate timing for this. It is a Judd Apatow production. And if you know anything about him, he's like the king of comedies in this time.
Yeah.
He produced them all.
I think Knocked Up came out like 6 months before this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The movie was his big one.
Is none other than the high school dramedy, not really a dramedy, Superbad.
Yeah, it might be my favorite comedy ever. It's
so
bad.
Yeah, it's
problematic ass ways.
But,
oh my god, there's the quotes.
I forgot that in my brain I quoted so many things that came from this movie. I forgot that that's where they came from.
They have formed our like quippy, like the way we deliver is literally from this movie.
Yes, it's literally it's I've made it my personality. This movie, in a lot of ways.
Bad, but good.
Absolutely,
but good.
I found that was a hack I found in high school. Later on, I was like, oh, just act like the people in movies that people like, and you'll be liked more. And it was true. It worked for me. Remember, like, wow, you're really funny like Brian. And I was like, from Family Guy, I was like, yeah.
That kid's just change your personality.
Just change your personality.
Bottle up the real you and just become somebody else. That's how you do it.
Bottle it up. So some more stats. So it did really well domestically. It release date, like I said, was August 2007. The runtime is approximately 2 hours, which again was actually surprising. I kind of thought it was going to be like an hour and a half, maybe. But it has like a full arc for the characters, which I wasn't expecting or didn't remember.
Yeah, because we were paying attention to the actual story. We're just laughing at all the dumb things they say.
The film holds a critic rating that showcases its balance of vulgarity and sincerity, emphasizing its portrayal of high school experiences on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb rating of Superbad contributes significantly to its overall reputation. So it's received well. It's still rated pretty well. I don't have the stat on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like 87 or something.
Yep, that was actually that got ruined. We were gonna do a quiz where we were gonna guess what it was, but hey, we know now. I don't know how
whoopsie!
That's my fault. Actually, that's my fault. Sorry. I made him look because it wasn't there, and then I messed it up. But so I'll skip that. But next time,
from now on,
we're gonna freaking get it together. Include that. Yeah, we're gonna do a guessing game here in the middle.
Ooh, I love that.
The audience score of the Rotten Tomatoes is, because I think we'll be wrong every time.
We probably will. Okay, well, let's get right to our categories. Right? Should we hop in?
Yeah.
All right. Also, really quick before we get started, again, okay, actually, this is appropriate that this is here. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Because that was our last movie that we watched. It's appropriate because I've watched a segment from the New Heights podcast, which is, of course, the Kelsey brothers podcast, Jason and Travis. And Jason is adamant it is not a Christmas movie. He's like, it's not. And I'm like, how could you possibly think that? And his argument was basically, you can watch it at any time of the year. Christmas movies can only be watched during the Christmas holiday season, and they cannot be watched outside of that time frame. So therefore, because it has transferability beyond Christmas time, it is not a Christmas movie, which I feel like speaks more to the quality of the movie than it does to the lack of it being a Christmas movie.
100%.
In my opinion. If your movie's that good,
are separate.
Yes, it has wide ranging appeal throughout the year. So sorry, Jason, I love you. Please stop false starting. And Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I forgot he's on your team. Yeah, I forgot he's on the Eagles.
Oh, he's on the Eagles. Yep. Eagles are toast, by the way.
Stop messing up, you dork. And stop having dumb opinions. Thank you.
You're doing great. All right. So the Vivian Award rating for an opening scene. What do you give it, Trevor?
Bro, I gave it a crisp 7. I thought the tone was set. I mean, it's, Vivian, as we establish pretty much every week, and I'm going to do again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie called Pretty Woman, and it's literally a pretty woman slaying down the street. Like, I don't think that there could have been anything filmed that was more on the nose for exactly what the movie is about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is, and you're like, oh, like, damn. So this was close. They, these guys want to be dorks, and that the opening sequence of them like dancing and they're the silhouettes.
Yes.
Because they were playing the song, they're like, all right, do a dumb dance. They're like, okay. They're just tapping,
basically
and hopping around, and it's neither one of those guys can dance either. So it's just chef's kiss. And then they set up them being kind of wildly codependent on each other by them talking on the phone until he gets there.
Yes. Yep.
Which you're like, and then the whole thing about, oh, you're going to school, how are you going to do it? And it sets up the dynamic immediately. And then the comments about his mom, like, and then, we know, okay, so now we know what this movie's going to be about.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that completely. It's 7. I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it just slightly higher. I'm looking like 7.5 to 8 out of Vivian. Because it just like it's subversive in a way, like you don't realize that's what the movie is about. It's called Superbad, right? Which is like a term used in like the 70s, right? Like I don't know, like it's a term of endearment, I guess. And then you see them dancing. It's the whole 70s theme with the music and like the film effect that's on there, and they're like being awkward or whatever. But you don't realize that what you're really watching is like the whole point of the movie is their relationship. It's them. It's about the two of them. And so the fact that you just get that right off the bat, like, and then you're talking about, the phone call where they're talking about like the lewdest thing you could talk about, like right off the rip. It is, I think it's really good. So you don't realize it maybe as the audience until you get into the movie or at the end. You're like, oh, wow, that was a great opening scene. But it was. So I'm going to give it like an 8 out of Vivian. I thought it was really great.
How are we going to make these two best friends seem just wildly 16 or 17-year-old and horny?
Oh my gosh.
And they're talking about adult content that they're going to subscribe to in college.
Yeah.
This is just, there's going to be quotes of just like to paint this picture, probably every category because there's just so many quotes. But there's 2 quotes back to back from Seth that I'm like, I forgot these were here, and this is so funny. when he said he goes perfect 10, something like perfect 10. And then he said a third time, like perfect 10. You like that? Like he says. By the way, Evan says everything through 3 times, which is so funny.
Yeah.
But when Seth's like matter of factly, like they don't show D going in, which is a concern. You ever seen a vagina by itself? Not for me.
Not for me.
Like, and I'm like, 17-year-old me was like, just like nodding and pointing at the screen. What did he say? Like, dude,
not for me.
The way it was so like businesslike.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's not for me. It's so it's painful too, because like you're right. As we're watching this as like kids, like I was 16 or 17 when I watched this, I related to it so much, and then now I'm like, you degenerate little piece of garbage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cringy because you're like, oh gosh, did I agree with him back then? Oh yikes. Like that's not good.
We use some of the bad quotes, I'm sure, a little bit, but there were ones we use more than the other ones. I tended to get to the ones that were a little more universal, but yeah.
We're a product of our time and environment. I get it. Yeah.
If someone threw out one of the worst ones, I'm ashamed to say there was like like
oh yeah. Oh, for sure. We don't have to get into the nuances of like public conformity when we were in our teenage years and seeking approval.
Now, works in progress.
Yeah, exactly. All right, our next category, the Ants Attack Isengard Award for Best Scene. Best scene for me is tough because there are a lot of really good scenes. I feel like one of my favorite scenes is what's his name? Seth. Yeah, Seth. Yeah. I was like, what's Seth's name? Seth. His monologue to the home ec teacher is chef's kiss. It's so good. It feels like the entire thing is completely ad-libbed. Like he made it all up.
A lot of it is.
Like they were like, we want you to get to this end result of being the partner with Jules, and you have to figure out how to get there from here. And he was like, all right, it is so good. I love that one. I don't know why, but something about the creepy dude getting like in the fight getting in the fight with Mark. It's like, Mark, come on, man. We're gonna do this. Like,
why gotta be such a dick, Mark?
You gotta be such a dick. Yeah.
I love that guy.
I love that scene. It was so many, man. Those are two that stuck out to me, but I'm sure you'll think of some that I liked as well. Or it was your best scene.
Well, one of these scenes actually got made better because it was all ad-libbed, almost all of it.
It was ad-libbed? Okay.
Yeah, so the blood in the pants was pretty much fully ad-libbed. Like when he goes, "Is this the line for the bathroom?" He goes, "What's it look like?" He's like, "F me, right?" Like ad-libbed. That was ad-libbed. He goes, "I got Merlot on my pants. Is this the best?" I got Merlot on my pants. It's like the one he knew.
Merlot. Yeah.
So that whole thing is like, but at the same time, like now it's like that's just not. They wouldn't do that again. But yeah, that was a good raunchy. That is something that would be a high school kid's nightmare if he's at a college party. Like it'd be the worst thing that possibly happened to him. But at the same time, it also happened to her. So like that's what we've talked about now. But then it was just like gross. Like no one wants blood on them, especially from other people.
Yeah.
And then the whole like back and forth when they show him the ID for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh!
I am McLovin. He goes, "No, you're not. Nobody's McLovin." Like that delivery's great.
Yes, it was between that or Muhammad. Why would it be between that or Muhammad?
Read a book. Because it's a stupid effing made up fairy tale name. You F. Like that ending part is great. But
yeah,
I would say the best, dude, the most jam-packed scene of lines. When they are standing in the middle of the soccer field, there is 5 quotes.
Oh,
5. Yeah. Everything Seth says is gold. Like, I'm like, dude. I'm the Iron Chef.
Yes.
Mommy's making a pubic salad.
Dude, I actually didn't catch that in the beginning when I watched that as a kid. I did not understand what he was saying there.
Seth's own dressing. You know Newman's own dressing?
Yes, Seth's own dressing.
That was the reference, and I didn't get it that, but it was really funny. But getting the old Franco, young Franco. What's his name?
Oh,
what's his name?
Frank. No.
Dave
Franco.
The Dave Franco first movie cameo. Which he could have easily been one of the main characters, I feel like. But,
easily, yeah.
But when the whole like, it's soccer, Greg. It's soccer. Like perfectly. That was supposed to be like, it's soccer, Greg, like that. And he threw the "it's soccer" at the end because that was what Sarah was doing, I guess. So I guess the whole time was supposed to be Seth was supposed to be like the raunchy comic relief, kind of like in like Project X.
Oh, I never saw Project X.
It's like Superbad, but not as well, not even remotely as well done. And there's like one character that's literally Seth, and he's the raunchy one the whole time. The other two are just nerds. Like Evan is just as funny in his own.
Yes.
And they weren't expecting that. They're like, oh, okay, so now they're both funny. That's what made the movie so great. So like him doing that, and then Seth going, "Why do you piss your pants again?" It was just like rolling off each other like improv, and it was amazing. But the best part of that scene is when he's running out the field, he kicks it in the stands, and his dad's like, "You're getting that?" He's like, "No, I'm not." And
no, I'm not. Oh my gosh, Seth, get off the field! Yeah. Oh, I just remembered too. We're going over the lines as well. I think would also. Sorry, I'm going backtracking a little bit.
No, it's okay.
To the home ec scene. When Fogel's there, and the home ec teacher is like, "Fogel, get out! This is not your class. Get out, Fogel. Hi." He's like, "Okay,
if you're not in this class, get out of this class. I see you, Fogel. Hi."
Like, oh,
sorry. Walks off. When he's following,
so good.
What's her name? Nadia? No.
Oh,
Natalia.
Yeah. I think that's her name.
And he's just like wagging his head along with her hip.
Yes,
dude, it's perfect. I'm like,
it's 10:30.
He could have just walked awkwardly, but he did the wagging because he's very obviously just watching.
Yeah.
It's 10:33, and he turns and just sprints away. Oh,
they crushed it. I feel
so
like
good.
They were really good at acting like this. I mean, I don't know how much they brought to the table of like this is just how they are. I kind of feel like Michael Cera did, but I don't know. They personified like the awkward high school teenager, but also like really quippy and like all that kind of stuff superbly well.
They did.
I don't know how old they were when they were made this, but they really nailed their roles.
I think they were in their early 20s. I think they were like 2021. I think Sarah was 20. I looked this up. Seth was, or Jonah was 21, and then Fogel's like 24.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
which I think he's 25 actually. I think that there's a joke about the fake IDs, his real age in real life. And so there's a big
No
joke about how he
shot.
doesn't look anything close to 25, and he
It
actually
was,
is. Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's crazy. He was that old. He could have been like
S
16.
Dude, yeah, it's great. Oh god.
All right, our next category to keep it moving here. Does this spark any specific memories
Yeah.
for you, Trevor?
It does. I saw it with my 3
Sure.
best buddies the day it came out because I was like, "Dude," we were
Amazing.
still kinda on our Napoleon Dynamite high at that point. So we're like
All
we're like,
right.
"This could be good because no one expected Napoleon Dynamite to be good at all. Like, the trailer was super goofy, kinda like Superbad, and,
Yeah.
and we went, and it was amazing. We loved it, so I'm like, "This is gonna be the same thing," and it was. So we were like, "We're right twice in a row. We should do this every time." Um, but I just remember I don't think I've laughed that hard with a group of friends. Like, it's just for 4 dudes that are
Yeah.
16, 17. Like, it's just what the movie's for. It
Oh,
was
that's
so
exactly who it's
funny.
for. Yes.
And so I remember very specifically doing that, and then, like, the next weekend going with another group, like, and I just kept being like I kept trying to, like, throw myself into the group of people that were going
Kept trying to
because
throw yourself into the group.
I just love that and that things that are funny. I love sharing that. Like, if I see something funny, I have to share. I have to show it to everybody I know. Like, I have to. And
Oh,
so that
geez.
just
Yeah.
scratched that itch. Now maybe it's part of my personality too much. I don't know, but it's maybe
Hey,
another thing super bad did to me.
yeah, we're formed by pop culture to some extent.
What about you?
Um, for me, I would say, excuse me. Yeah, for me, it sparked a memory of me wanting to do this in a way. Like I remember being, so I went to a private Christian school, and nothing really happened there. Like it was really low key. I mean, like one fight happened every 4 years, and it was like the biggest deal ever.
Yeah.
So like nothing really ever occurred there. And I remember thinking to myself, like, you have prepared your whole life to say no to drinking and to drugs. And I remember laying in my bed thinking to myself, like, if someone offers you, dude, you're gonna do it.
That's so true. Yeah.
You're gonna say yes. You're not gonna seek it out. But if someone offers, you're gonna do it.
Yes.
And so I had made that decision in my bed. I can't remember when, somewhere in my senior year or whatever. And so my buddy, who was I was the best man at his wedding, one of my best buds. His name is Anthony, and he was trying so hard to get us to go to parties, dude. We went to field parties and like house parties, and they were always a disaster. Like it never went well. It was never. It was basically like the exaggerated of this movie, but
Yeah.
like it would just never go to plan ever. And
Yeah. Oh
so like
yeah.
people
You
would
connect
steal our
you.
money. We once gave this guy like a bunch of money to buy us beer. We never saw him again. Um, yeah. So anyway, it just reminded me of that time in my life and how like stupid I was, but also how I think that's exactly how it goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't maybe people have these like amazing senior years and like
No, they
everything
don't.
goes well and all these parties and I'm like it was always a shit show for me. It never
No,
went well.
it doesn't.
So, yeah, it like kind of gets together a little bit in college, but then you're just like, I don't know. I guess this is for me. I don't know. So, anyway, it sparked that memory for me.
That
I thought
is
it was great.
Yeah, dude, the you saying it because it gave us like like we're like, oh yeah, this is obviously like has the guys, this is not great, but like we're like we all want to do this.
Yeah.
So what did you
Yeah.
do to us? But yeah, you have to realize that you can't plan a good party. They just kind of I only went to
That's also
a
true.
party or two, yeah, that happened like this. Like that was this good, and it was because it just kind of happened. Like it wasn't supposed to be that big, and then got that big, and then it always gets busted. So like that's literally
Yeah.
what happened.
Oh, you got
Um,
busted. Oh, wow.
well, we got busted once, and the whole basketball team was there, and, I had
Ah.
to I was close enough that I could walk home,
Okay.
So I just walked home. But like, and then not only that, like my town's very small, and we know everybody, and the cops all like went to our high school. So like we're like,
Ah.
I don't know them by name, I know them by their faces, and I know what family they're. And they just like just because I was bit tall, like they just
Oh
assumed I was an
yeah.
older brother, and I was just walking around like gathering
Oh.
up the younger like because I was a senior. We had a couple sophomores there that were like my little buddies, and then there were a couple.
Hmm.
I was like, "Come on, guys, we'll get you home," and just like huddled them up because they couldn't. They weren't. But we were panicking. We thought that we were all going to prison for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
reality, nobody even got. Everyone just got taken home, and then we just got in trouble at school for a week. Like that's really just what happened.
Yes.
Um,
That sounds
but
about
yeah,
right.
that was our attempt to do something like this, like our senior year. Like we planned it to. I had a buddy, a sophomore kid that we convinced to have a party at his house.
Ah, there you
So
go.
it's
You
kind of our
convinced him
fault.
to have a party. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
but and now it's still the best high school party we all remember. So at the time we're like, oh god, but now we're like, great, that was really fun. I'm glad we did that. No
Yeah.
one got hurt. We were
That's
all good.
I think you're right. I think the best times that those happen, like any of the enjoyable times I had, like, in high school, were basically just impromptu, whatever hangouts.
Yeah,
Anything planned fell apart immediately because you basically have a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds trying to plan something, 18-year-olds, and it's like,
it's
never.
illegal technically. We
Yeah,
can't like.
yeah,
Could you get
exactly.
alcohol or not? That's basically what it hinged on, which was the
Exactly.
premise of this
Yes.
movie, which is hilarious.
Which is, yes. And I also, really quick, I'm not sure if I've shared the story or not on the pod or not, but also reminded me specifically when Fogel has to go into the liquor store to get the booze.
Yeah,
I was the guy that they had do that.
yeah, because
Uh,
you looked older.
I looked older. I didn't have a fake ID, but I was just like, hey, just give it a shot. And so I remember going in and I was like terrified. And I was probably bigger than the guy at the counter, but I was still like, oh, God. And like, I went and got Molson Lights or something, or Keystone Lights. Uh,
Keystone.
yeah, something real conspicuous that definitely a young person wouldn't love. So I get a bunch of those, and I'm like cracking jokes with the guy at the counter, like we're having a good time and everything. And he's like, "All right, man, all right." And he looks at the register. He's like, "Just hit me with your birthday." And I was like, "You got it, buddy. 02690." And he was like, he looked at me and like squinted his eyes, and then looked back at his register. Okay, just typed it in and let me go. And I was like, I'll see you later. Yeah. Yep.
So you're very clearly underage. He's like, I don't care.
Yep. Basically, he was like, all right. Because I
The
think
balls of this kid.
I feel like somehow I'd built enough rapport with him where he didn't want to have the awkward, like, I can't do this for you now.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he let me do it. And that also was a party that never ended up happening. I think that beer sat in my trunk for a month
Oh,
because nothing ended up happening. But yeah, anyway.
you just take
So
it to school every day.
actually, it was my buddy's trunk. Yeah, so he was holding my weed, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next section: favorite characters. Favorite characters. Two characters of mine that were my favorite. The home ec teacher, loved her.
She's great.
She was hilarious in her own way. That Fogel High thing was like, it's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie, actually. I love that, and I loved Michael Cera's character.
Yeah, Evan was
Loved it.
incredible.
Seth was good. I like Seth, but
Yeah.
he was easy to not like.
Yeah.
And Michael Cera was just like the most genuine guy, just trying to make it through high school. And I think we all, like, part of us
Identified.
Yes, at least I did very much identify with Michael Cera, and it was like everyone has the friend who's Seth, and you're like, are you even a real person? Like, are you even like who thinks about this constantly? Yeah, those are my two favorites. Home ec teacher and Seth. Or
I actually have. I only have two too. I have Evan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Evan.
And what got me with Evan, the two best parts. Actually, these are the three most Evan moments of nerdiness that Sarah crushed. Right at the beginning when that guy Jesse spits on Seth's chest, and then he goes, "Tell your friend he can't come too." And then in the background you see Evan go, like, put his hand up, like, okay,
yeah,
like that.
yes,
Sent me, and then he goes over. He's like, "Jesse told me to tell you." You really bitched out there, man. Like, I was like, okay, perfect. And then literally fast forward like 10 seconds, they're in class, and he's just staring down Becca's shirt, and she looks up at him, and he just like really slowly like looks off into the corner. Like, oh, what is that? Like, oh, there's something in the corner. Is that a bird?
Wow. Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
then after they had the conversation, he's like, okay, see you later. And they're going the same way. And he literally just sprints off. Like,
Yes.
starts walking fast. She's like, okay, see you, Evan. Like, just so good.
Dude, they nailed those little moments that definitely happen in real life, and you don't know what to do as a teenager. You don't know how to handle it.
But the best look of the movie, I know this is kind of off that Evan thing, but the best look of the movie is when Jules and they're at the end and
Yeah.
they're all like they're splitting off, and Jules is like, hey, would you want to go help me get some makeup because you kind of owe me? And he like looks over at Evan like huge eyes, like, and everyone saw it. Just incredible, just so funny. Like he's trying to hide it. It was like perfectly not so obvious, but like pretty
Yes.
obvious
Mhm.
and awkward. But I was like, that's great. And then him looking up the escalator at him as he's going away, waving because they
Oh my
like.
gosh.
I told Kate
That's
this. I go, and that's how it happens, Kate. Now he no longer has a best friend. We all meet our girls, and then we don't have best friends anymore.
Dude, it is sad.
Sad.
It's
Yeah,
very sad. Yeah, it is. I don't know that this is a thing that happens with women as much, or I guess girls at this time. But like, yeah, when your buddy gets a girlfriend, you like never see him again.
Yeah.
I have a couple of friends who got girlfriends and fell off the face of the earth. And we would try to like get them to come out or whatever. Like, no, sorry, I can't.
Well, and it gets
Okay.
just worse and worse and worse the older you get.
It is.
Like, that never
it
ends.
Is.
We just keep doing that.
Yeah. You kind of learn how to like manage your time, like protect your time, because you do want to hang out with the boy. At least some guys want to hang out with the boys or whatever, and you learn how to like compromise. But you don't know how to do that when you're that age. So you're just like, I belong to her now.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Some guys, not everybody, but like some guys fell off the earth, and it was a little sad, that ending scene. You're like, oh, this is the real love story of this movie.
Yeah,
it's the bromance,
which was good. Like I'm so glad, and they had that vulnerable moment at the end, and you're like, I know this is supposed to be a joke, but now that I'm watching it as an adult, I also understand that they wanted to feel pretty wholesome as well at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like goofy and ha 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 ha. Dudes don't show emotions at the moment, and now I watch it again, I get a whole different feeling, but it's still great. So
it is. Yeah, you're right.
So I was
you're
like,
right.
The hug, dude, when he like pulls him in and then pulls him in some more and then just like settles. Like I'm like, yep.
Yeah, you just want to hold your buds. I also didn't realize. Speaking of Evan, I mean, maybe I did. I don't remember, but anyway, I just remember seeing the scene with him and Becca for the first time in the hallway, and watching it now. I'm like, bro, she is so obviously into you. It's not that hard. But I don't know that I realized it back then, which is funny that I didn't see those like cues and everything.
Yeah. He also did such a good job of like you can look on his face, like he knows, and it's terrifying. Like he's like, I know you like me, I just don't know what to do. Like I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I'm not used to you liking me. It's not that I don't know. I know. I just have no clue what to do now. So I'm gonna panic and punch in the boob.
That was also great.
I'm like, how do you move on from that?
The level to which I think that's what made it so good in a lot of ways. The movie is that like, yeah, it's crude and lewd and all that kind of stuff, and I totally understand that can turn people off, and I get that. But I mean, I'm not a cinematic person, but just the level of body language communication that happens in this movie is unbelievable. It conveys so obvious what the emotion is without saying a word. Like I felt the inner turmoil when he punched her boob. Like him saying sorry a million times and and then yelling it after she's walked away. Sorry.
It did such a good job.
Oh my gosh. That was fantastic.
These guys, this was their breakout for a bunch of them. Yeah.
Do we want to do the mid-roll read?
And now for an ad.
I think we could cut it from anyway.
Another show.
Yeah. We could probably cut it.
Yeah.
We'll cut it. Should just hop into it?
Yeah, hop right into it.
All right. Hey, Trev, do you enjoy D&D perchance?
Wow, so gracious of you to ask. It just so happens that I do enjoy some D&D perchance.
Why'd you say perchance at the end?
Well, Paul, that's because I don't actually know when to use it.
It's a tough word. It's a tough word to know when to use. I totally get that.
What does perchance even mean? You know what I mean?
I don't know. chance to chance. I don't know. Anywho, Trevor and I teamed up on another staple of the MCA Media Podcast Network, Forgotten Paths, to take on a harrowing journey. I just figured out what harrowing means, by the way. It's like an adventure, like an adventurous thing. Yeah, but also like risky.
Context, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. A harrowing journey to discover who the hell stole the presents. Check out myself, Trevor, Noah, not Trevor Noah, Trevor, Noah, and friend of the pod, Ray Apollo, as our heroes embark on their historic and heroic quest. The Forgotten Paths podcast. Listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you happen to get your podcast goodness. Now, back to the show. All right, next up, we have for our categories the Vince Vaughn Award for Best Quotes. And we have already gone through quite a few of them.
Yep.
But I will kick it to you, Trev. What are your best quotes?
You guys on MySpace or... That's good.
That's a low-key one.
Let's make a move. I got to get a glimpse of these warlocks. That's a good one.
Yes.
Prepare to be prepare to be effed by the long dick of the law. This was one of my favorites at the time. It still is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So funny thing about my back is it's actually located on my cock.
And she laughs. The other girl is like, what?
She was like, whoa.
She laughs. Oh my goodness. I love that. Is that what you got?
Yeah, it's Soccer Greg. We mentioned that one, the PB salad. Seth's own dressing. I'm like the Iron Chef to pounding Vash. That's a good one.
Vash.
The way he says it, like, and then there's actually one really famous gag reel. Yeah, the gag reel of this is phenomenal. But
really?
Famously,
okay.
Yeah, they famously, every time Bill Hader sat next to Fogel and was like, "I'm sorry, I blocked your cock." Every time he says that, they had to do that like 25 times. He just like, for what, he couldn't do it so slow. He was trying to like do it fast. Like, now you gotta do it slower. He's like, and then they just do it again. So that took forever, and that's pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I didn't actually realize that he had a gag reel. I need to watch that because he is probably he's probably the most fined character on SNL for breaking character. Like he does it constantly, but it's so good.
Not break.
All right, we got a bunch. We got a bunch. Are you? I didn't want to cut you off. You got any more?
No, I'm good. I could have 50. I'll go with 5. We're good with 5.
Absolutely. Seth's entire monologue to home ec teacher. That's like one of my favorite scenes. What am I going to need to cook tiramisu? Am I going to be a chef?
No.
Cook tiramisu. That
There's
one
3
really
weeks
landed.
after school. Give me a fucking break.
Sorry. I'm sorry for cursing.
Home ec's a joke. No offense.
And he's just having the best time. Michael Cera's character.
I'm laughing sorry. Oh my god. Anyway.
Give me a fucking break. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, we kind of did a version of this of like, that's the coolest effing story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Yes. Is it? Can I hear it again? Do you have time?
Do you have time? Do you have time at the end? Oh my god, Fogel, that's the greatest song, or that's the greatest story I've ever heard. Can you tell it again? Do you have time?
You have time. It's our version of Cool Story, bro. Is basically what that was. Gotta hear it again. You guys on MySpace? Okay, and also this one has stayed, and I didn't actually realize that this is what this was from, but they literally stopped me from eating foods that were shaped like dicks. Not hot dogs, no popsicles. You know how many foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds. Best kinds. And this one also landed for me pretty well when they are interviewing the woman at the counter who got robbed. And I think it's funny because Seth Rogen's obviously in it. And my wife's entire family is Jewish. This is odd crime for a Jew to commit. They're pretty docile.
Pretty docile. Oh,
we got an African Jew.
So inept.
Oh man, it's so great. Funny. I remember
The whole
seeing
thing,
them
dude.
too, as like in the theaters as a kid, seeing the two cops and who they were, and I was like, yes! I just
Yeah.
remember being excited.
So funny because they're like in their mid-20s in that movie too. Is that crazy?
No shot. Are they really?
I think Hater's maybe 30, but like
I was gonna say they
Seth
gotta be in
Rogen's
their
24.
30s. What?
Seth Rogen, he was supposed to play Seth. Their name's Seth and Evan. The guys who wrote it are both named Seth and Evan. So like they wrote it for themselves. They were just kids, and it took too
Oh.
long to make it. They got too old,
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
and they're like, Seth, your beard. He's had a beard since he was 15. So he's like, I can't do this. I need people who can't grow beards. They got him. They got him. How funny is that?
Oh man. Okay. Those are fantastic. I love these quotes so much. We could literally go all day. All right. Best music. Best
Great
music is the next category. Great music. Loved. Honestly, loved all the music. It felt it went with every scene. I feel like really well. Nothing really felt out of place. I thought my favorite music was the intro music actually because it really sets the tone.
The funk.
Yeah, the funk kind of beat, which is just weird, but now it kind of makes sense because they wrote it, so they grew up in around that time, in the 70s/80s. But anyway, yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
and
great.
and also like, and then Seth's outfit and kind of all they put together like that whole like weird, goofy hippie thing, and like even the cinematography, like the color was all very like
Yeah.
I don't know, had a
Yes.
little bit of a soft, warm 70s feel. I don't know.
Yeah, a little
It was very much
sepia
on purpose.
tone. Mhm.
Exactly. But like the best song I feel like was These Eyes. They played the actual song from the Guess Who,
Oh,
and then he sings it
yes.
later. It's Jimmy's brother. And when he's like and when he trails off like the two times
Yes.
when he does the hook or the chorus.
Mhm.
Oh, I was like, this is the longest scene too. He just sang like a whole verse.
I
Like
was
a
thinking of that
lot.
too. I'm like, this is a long one. And then he
And he
cracks.
crushed it. He
Yeah, he
cracks
did.
it. Yeah, and we don't know if that's I mean, he was
Yeah.
just so good at it and so nervous and like, who's that guy? And they just turn around, he's just sitting there. He's like, hey, like that's our nightmare as well. So as kids, we're like, oh no! And then he's singing for these
Yep.
college guys who are doing cocaine on the table.
They did so many nightmare scenarios as a kid.
Uh,
Who's that guy?
who's that guy? They also had the Led Zeppelin song Panama. Uh, when they're
Oh, okay.
when they're doing the donuts in the cop car.
Yes. Oh, you're
Panama,
right. Yeah, that's
Panama.
right.
Like I was like, yes, this is perfect for that.
Is that Panama or are they saying animal? I thought they're saying
No, it's
animal.
Panama. The song's called Panama, but
No
Led Zeppelin.
shot. Is it really?
Yeah, did you know?
Panama. That's really funny. I thought it was animal.
I mean, to
Whole
be
time.
honest, the kind of the vibe of the song, Animal makes sense.
Yeah.
That's unless you looked up the lyrics one day, which no one ever freaking does. Like,
I
how'd you know,
never. Yeah. Our next category, memorabilia you desire. Anything you want to own from this movie. I want to own two things from the movie.
Same.
I want to own Seth's shirt. I want that shirt. And I want to own, well, actually, three things. Seth's shirt. I think everyone wants to own McLovin's ID. I think that's a really good one to own. And then Gold Slicks. I want a bottle of Gold Slicks. Those are three things I want from the movie.
So
Yeah.
I have Seth's shirt
Oh, yeah.
and McLovin's ID.
Yes.
Seth's shirt. You know what? I'll go for three. I'll throw in Seth's pants. How about the whole outfit?
Oh, the whole outfit. Yeah.
He's wearing like those. Oh, you could just tell they were just like the plaid, like golf pants, super thin and comfy.
Dude, yes.
Oh, you knew they were comfy. He was comfy as hell the whole movie.
Oh my gosh. In the
Might have been the most comfy.
the cargo pants and the flip phones and just something about really quick, just something about how Seth was walking in the beginning, the second scene when they're walking to the like convenience store to get like slushies or whatever.
The bus.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, no, out of his car or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're walking to the convenience store and Seth's legs and shoes and the way his gait, he's got these big cargo pants, those Vans that were like barely up to your ankle bone.
Yeah.
And he's just like slapping those feet. It's
super duck-footed, so his feet go out. Like,
yes. Something about that was so relatable. It just felt like every high schooler I've ever seen walk anywhere.
Yeah.
It was very good. Yes. Nailed it.
And Evan walks like he's thinking about how to walk the whole time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Doesn't know him and Fogel never know where to put their hands.
Yeah, they're like looking side to side. Like, am I walking in a straight line? Am I zigzagging?
Yeah. They're constantly so awkward. All right, we have a new category.
which we already did. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is?
I think it's 87.
My guess is 87. I don't know. Oh, we got it.
Is it 87?
It is 87. Yeah.
I want you to know that I literally pulled that out of thin air.
Oh, you did? It's.
I'm not even kidding. Yeah.
It's 88 critics, 87. Critics gave it higher than the audience, which blows my mind.
That's never happens. I mean, it's by 1 point.
Especially for movies like this. Like for movies like raunchy movies, critics never like it more than the fans do. That's kind of the point. And this time they're like, this is a really well done. But it was well done. It was really well done.
The pacing is great. The character arcs are great. The acting is fantastic. Yeah, you're constantly moving. You never feel like it's slugging along. Like everything feels really necessary. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it a lot. Well, we've come to our final category, which of course the cream of the crop award. How does this movie?
We got a couple more after that, dude. What are you talking about?
Stack up? No. It's our only one. It's our last one.
All right.
We're done forever after this. I mean, to be fair, does the cream of the crop award not sound like it should be the last one? It's the cream of the crop. I mean, it's literally the last. It's the best part.
Okay,
that's why it's called the cream of the crop.
Around, Paul.
Shift it around, dude.
All right, cool.
Goodness gracious.
I'm on it.
How does it stack up against similar animated movies? Nice. Similar movies made around the same time. Where does it rank on the list? Okay, so here's the list. 1 through 10. Real quick. Knocked Up. Pineapple Express. Adventureland. The House Bunny. Role Models. Youth in Revolt. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I Love You, Beth Cooper. Drillbit Taylor. Okay.
I haven't seen those bottom two. No,
dude, idea. I have no idea those last two.
I bet you they're bad.
Youth in Revolt, I haven't seen. The House Bunny.
Be pretty good.
I don't know what that's about.
I've seen House Bunny 1,000 times because of Kate.
Oh, does she like that movie?
It's just about a Playboy bunny becoming a house mom for a sorority, and she was in a sorority.
Oh, there you go.
Like Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, it's all the same. Like Pineapple Express, I think, was written by Seth and Evan again.
Amazing.
And then
amazing.
And then
you should write more movies.
Came out right before this. Where do you got it in there? I got it up there.
I got it up there probably in number. It's probably number 1 or 2.
It's one. It's one for me. It's
one
but
for
like
you.
Barely, probably barely. And I really, 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 really loved Pineapple Express. Then I'd say Knocked Up after that. Then I'd throw in Adventureland probably 4.
Oh, really?
No. I lied. Role Models. Role Models is
really
2 or 3 because I don't know. I just love Paul. I'm basic that way. He's just so funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, dude, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's like that's what it's jostling with.
Too. What the frick?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is like between that and Superbad is tough because again, Paul Rudd's in it. He's very good. I love Jason Segel. That was tough. Though both of those are really funny. I think Superbad is definitely way more raunchy, but it's like slightly more. It's more relatable. I can't relate to what's happening in those people's lives in 2008, like all that stuff. But also very quotable. I mean, how often do we say the weather outside is weather? I mean, that is probably, come on.
Yeah.
Weather outside is weather.
Point.
Yeah, it's where I leave
points
it.
And they're good.
You make points and they're good. Thanks. That's why I have a podcast.
I would say it'd be 1 for me. And then very
1.
Like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, those all slot right behind it.
All right. Our not the last category. Any jokes, references that could not be used today?
Pretty much all of them. Yeah, like 90% of them.
Yeah. I think it's probably a good rule of thumb. A lot of F word usage, a lot of R word usage.
Hard R's. We had some hard R's and we had some hard F's.
Yeah.
And we should probably just not use those.
Yeah.
Those words just would not be used. So like that cuts a lot of the jokes out.
Yes. I will say, as far as it being a quote unquote period piece, very accurate. That's that's the way people talked. That's exactly what we would say. So
but it's still so outrageous that like I think they get they don't get a pass. Obviously, there's no passing on this, right? But like it's almost like a Theo Von situation, like a little bit easier to swallow because of the show. Like it's supposed to be just shockingly outrageous.
Yeah, it's like being upset if you're going to go to see what is that movie with frickin' the curb stomping and American something X, American History X,
History X,
and hearing the N word and being upset about it. Like that's
Yeah.
Like,
Or you're
it's
like,
kind of
I don't really like
implied.
gore, but we're gonna go watch a Saw marathon. You're like,
Exactly. Like, I'm not going to
That's
blame.
all there is.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole
So
thing.
yeah, that's a good way to blanket that.
Love
Okay,
it.
recast or not, you go ahead.
Okay,
Recast, who you got?
quick recast. Compose yourself. Compose yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Quick recast breakdown. I tried to go with people who are around their age too. Like, who else could have played it at that time? Because it's hard. Because this was their breakout performance for a bunch of kids. We didn't even know about them before the movie, so it's hard to be like, this 16-year-old kid would be
Yeah.
great. I don't know because I haven't seen them in the thing yet. So,
Yes.
I have Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing Seth.
Okay. All
I
right.
think he could do it.
Mhm.
It would be interesting to see him being Crass, or I would say Dave Franco. Dave Franco, I think, would do even better.
Yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg could be Michael Cera's character, Evan.
Mm.
He's the closest I could get to Michael Cera because Michael Cera
Yep.
crushes it. Like Eisenberg could maybe figure it out, but he wouldn't be as good. Fogel will be Jay Baruchel, Baruchel. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He's the This Is the End.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
Seth
yeah,
Rogen's
yeah.
best friend,
Yep.
skinny guy. He's in Blackberry. He plays the main character. He's great, by the way. Blackberry's a great movie. You should see it.
Yes. He's in Road Trip
And
too.
he could be Fogel because he's
Sure.
super awkward. He's super skinny. I said Jules Anna Kendrick.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much plug and play there. And then but I think the best ones are the cops. Right now, if it were made, I would say Zac Efron, Jason Tatum, link up
Oh,
would be an
yeah.
incredible two dumbass cops combo.
Jason Tatum?
Channing Tatum, sorry. Did I say
I was going to
Jason?
say,
Channing.
yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
stumbled through that. Channing Tatum and Zac Efron.
Channing.
Two
Yeah. Channing
gorgeous
Tatum.
dudes that could act like they were dorks, but they weren't. Like they could have done it. It wouldn't be the same kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
But I think they could play that role pretty well.
Yes.
It's Bill Hader and Seth Rogen. Like, come on. Like,
I agree. I think as far as my recast, I had a really hard time with that because it's done so
Almost
well
perfect.
by these people, and the movie is made by them specifically. So I don't know that anyone else could really replicate that.
Yeah, I think it's the best cast they could have had, but
They could have had,
forced
yeah.
to.
Even with Dave Franco and how good he is, he could have been in the movie more, but I wouldn't have wanted him to be one of the characters that are already there. I just would have liked to have seen him more. The only thing I could think is Channing Tatum is like also a cameo where he's like, I don't know, the sergeant, and he comes in and like he's also an idiot.
Yeah.
Like
but if you're in trouble, but he's part of the group.
Exactly. So yeah, recasting, I didn't do it. And I was like, it's too good. I didn't want to see anyone else do it.
Hey, you know what? That is always a good thing to like. The other shows that do this I've seen, they also like sometimes they're like, this is perfect, man.
It's just done too well. Yeah.
It's too well. It's just they cry. It's just an absolutely well executed movie. And Seth Rogen says it himself. He's like, the movie turned out 10 times better than my script did. Like it's way better than my script was. All the changes we made were perfect. We got it perfectly. It was amazing. These guys,
we got it perfect. We're the best.
Yeah, it was like a basic buddy comedy, and then he's like, the actors we got just crushed it, man.
They did. All right. So what's your final rating? How you remember
final
it versus
rating.
how it is? Final rating.
So as a 16-year-old, I'd be like, that's a 10 out of 10. I would say, now that I'm more of a cinephile, I'm gonna give it a crisp 9 out of 10. But it is a formative movie. It is up there. I don't think there's many in terms of comedies and just like it just has too much to do with the way that I deliver sarcasm and stuff. It does.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that them and Vince Vaughn, man. Like all of that's just me. I love them. I think they're great. That's why we name everything after them. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, which is for me that's pretty much a 10 out of 10. I don't think that there could be a perfect movie for me.
Yeah. I agree. I'm the exact same. As a kid, I'm 10 out of 10. As an adult, a little bit more understanding of cinema and whatnot, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I mean it can't really be super perfect, but yeah, it was very formative to my early years. It influenced a lot of my personality, and for better or worse, that's my rating. That's my score. So I'm giving it.
Awesome. So real quick Easter egg before we take off. So after we know about the dick drawing disease, throughout the film, there are numerous subtle phallic symbols in the background, such as pictures, posters, and even props, adding to the movie's raunchy humor. Like from that point on, they just sneak dicks in everywhere.
I never.
So you
got to
go like there's a whole like there's a YouTube video that points them all out, which is so funny. And then McLovin's signature when he signs So when he signs his fake ID, it's a simple doodle of a male genitalia, adding to the absurdity of the character. It's like he puts a dick on the back of it, which no one notices. You have to look pretty closely, but of course he did.
I never noticed that. It's incredible.
So they're like, it just gag reel. People out there, if you haven't watched the movie in a while, obviously watch it. But like at very minimum, go on YouTube, watch the gag reel.
I'm literally gonna go. I'm gonna watch it.
The best there is. I love it. Superbad, man. What a trip.
What a movie. Yeah, very nostalgic. We know PM loves this movie. He can't talk right now. He was very sad he couldn't participate more, but work and whatnot. But yeah, I would love to hear his opinion on it. Maybe next episode we'll do it.
Maybe next episode we'll get
We'll get his opinion one of these days. All right, Trevor, anything else with the people?
All I gotta say is thanks for being here and listening. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on whatever you're listening on. And also, please, if you haven't, a lot of you have already and are there and don't even know you're there, join our Discord channel. It is in the notes below. Our Discord, the MCA podcast Discord. We got ideas. The ideas that these two guys don't even fully know about yet. So we'd love to have you there because there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff offered there moving into the future. And also we want to hear from you too. And that's probably the best place to do it. So join the Discord and let us know how you like the episode.
Love that. And lastly, if you like D&D, don't forget to listen to the Forgotten Past podcast. Me and Trevor did guest host or guest star, I guess, over there. And it's really funny holiday episode. So the holidays aren't quite over yet. Go check it out. Thanks, everyone, for listening to episode 9 of the Making an Action podcast, where we reviewed Superbad. Stay tuned. We will let you know what the next one is when we have it. See you next time on the podcast. Bye.
Bye.